Hey guys, it's Gigi, and today, I just really wanted to talk about a pressing issue that I've noticed over the course of my life. Sexual harassment, and how it's not okay. And I do these story time videos all the time, and it just so happens that recently 2 things have happened to me that are not okay in any sense, and honestly are just really, really disgusting, and we really need to get into it right now. So I was at the airport 2-3 weeks ago, and you know how you go through security, you line up, you go through that little machine, you fill out all the information, it takes your photo, and it asks you business or pleasure. And then it gives you a little slip, and you go up and you talk to one of the people that you randomly are selected to go and talk to. So I go up, and there are 2 men working that day. One is a kind of old white man with salt and pepper, gray hair, and his beard and all that, and then a younger African-American man. So luckily I go, or so I thought, I get the younger African-American man. So I go up, I have my bag, I have my dog carrier, I have my slip, I have all of my information, my passport, and I just go and I'm really polite. I'm like, hi, how are you? I forget what I was wearing, but instantly this guy is not having me. God only knows what he thought of me when I walked up. I try to be pleasant because it's, I'm just that kind of person. I'm a smiley person, even though, we're at the airport. It's not a very, pleasant situation, but I still want to be nice and whatever. I'm sure he doesn't really like doing his job, but I want to, I don't know, put a smile on his face, make him laugh if I can. So I go up, I'm like, hi, how are you? Nothing. Stone cold on his end. I was like, okay, perfect. Great. And this trip, randomly enough, was for a cosmetic procedure. So I was telling him about that because you're not supposed to lie when you go to the airport, and it's, even though it is a private thing that I was getting done, he asked me, so I told him, this is what I'm getting done, I'm going to see this doctor, da 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 da. And he asked me, well, have you gotten anything done other than that? And I said, yes. That is a very personal question, but I just thought, might as well just give this guy what he wants. So he had his hands on the keyboard and was looking at the computer, looking at all my information, and then he proceeds to just forget about all that and stare at me completely dead on. So he was like, tell me everything that you've had done. And I was like, oh my God, no. So I just told him, like, no, I don't want to tell you everything. He was like, I'm airport security, and I'm asking you what you've had done. So I go down the list, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever, I'll just tell you everything I've had done. And he was like, wow, that's a lot of surgery. Like, you look fine. And I was like, yeah, that's just how it is. And he backs up out of his chair. There was bulletproof glass everywhere. He walks out of it and goes like this, why don't you give me a spin? I was like, this guy did not just ask me to spin. But he did. So, and knowing me, I don't want to create a scene. I don't want to say no, obviously, in this situation, because he's an authority figure. I'm not going to be like, no, I'm not going to spin for you. I was just like this. He then goes on to say, I know girls like you. I know your type. I was like, oh, gag. What kind of type? He's like, I grew up in Miami, and all the girls there have everything done. He still probed me for more information. He was like, so how does it feel? I'm like, how does what feel? He's like, how does it feel when you have sex? I was like, oh my God, am I on punked or something? This is crazy. He was dead serious, looking me right in the eyes with this smug ass smile on his face. And at that moment, I felt so trapped because I'm trying to go on a vacation. I'm trying to follow through with the plans that I had made before coming, and now it's like, I felt like if I didn't tell this guy what he wanted to know, even though it was so outrageous, I wouldn't have been able to go on the airplane. So I just felt trapped, and it's not like I could have I probably could have screamed out for help or asked a different attendant to help me, but I was embarrassed. It was just a lot. Seriously, it was just a lot. Next thing I know, he gives me this yellow slip, and he puts my passport and all my documents in it, and he's like, follow that hallway down to the left. It was basically the interrogation room. So I walk in, there's a bunch of people that don't look very nice, and I was just like, how did I get put in this situation? So basically I had to sit in an interrogation room with, well, not just me, I had my daughter Bella with me, and I just thought that it was so unfair. I didn't do anything. Just disgusting. I'm sorry I didn't answer your sexual questions towards me. You clearly were on a power trip and putting me on the spot thinking that I would answer your questions, and then when I didn't, you got mad, so now you're putting me in the interrogation room. So after that, I just went through with the interrogation process. Thank God I got a different guy that had manners and was very nice and sweet and professional, and he asked me where I was going and what happened back there, and I basically told him, I was like, listen, this man, I got his name, and I was like, this man was asking me very sexual questions, and I definitely want to look into the video surveillance so I can show you what he was doing. And they took my name and my contact information, and like I said, it was 2 to 3 weeks ago and nothing has happened. So don't know if he was in on it too, but it's honestly disgusting. Like literally I felt gross talking to him about that kind of stuff. Like maybe you're curious about something at your job is not the time or the place to be talking about it, and I feel like it is going on more than we know. Like men in jobs thinking that they can treat girls a certain way just because there's security at the airport and we have to be well behaved and answer all the questions that they ask us, but that's not okay. Like thinking back, I wish I could have said something because that is disgusting, and I won't even really get into what he asked me, but I told you guys some of the stuff, but he really did push it and it was disgusting. So the second story I'm going to tell you is a little bit more like lighthearted. So I was at the mall and I was picking up some pants that I had altered. I had put them in earlier in the week, and the woman called me. She said they're ready for pickup. So I was like, okay, perfect. So I walk into the mall, and the place within the week, so weird, had switched sides of the mall. Like it was usually on the left side. The place is called Stitch It, and they do alterations, and it was on the left side, and then I walk in and it was like, shut, Stitch It, closed down. I was like, what the, this girl just called me earlier today. So I look over to the right and it's a new Stitch It store. So I was like, oh, okay, perfect. So I walk in, I see a man standing there like at the corner, and he didn't have any like garments in his hand, so I thought that he was waiting or picking up like I was. And the woman said, oh, we have a new system, give me your phone number and hopefully you'll come up, if not we'll add you again. So I give her my phone number. She's like, oh Gigi, we don't have you in the system, let me just add you again. So I'm giving her all my information, and then whatever, she goes to the back, she gets my garment, and in that time this man comes up to me. He was like, oh, they have a really nice store here, don't they? I was like, oh yeah, they do, it's really nice. Yeah, so nice. This alteration store has such a beautiful store, sir, for sure. He was just trying to make small talk, and I was being polite back, and then she gives me my garments. I say bye to her. He's like, bye, see you later. I was like, see you later? No, girl, nice to meet you. Bye, sir. Have a nice day, sir. So as I was walking out, I wasn't even out of the mall yet. It's a very close store to the exit. I get a text message and it says, hey, how are you? With a smiley face, with one of those like really, really happy like emojis. And I was like, no, it couldn't be. I was like, hey, who is this? He's like, we just met in the mall. You looked beautiful, or something like that. And I was just like, no. This man, I was in the mall for a total of 5 minutes, I'm gonna say. And in that 5 minutes, I talked to the woman at the desk that worked at the alteration store and this man in the waiting room. So that would have to mean that this man took my phone number when I was giving it to the woman to pull up my file. Now tell me that's not fucked up. And he said, oh, I hope you don't mind me taking your number. I was like, of course I mind. Are you kidding me? Like, I didn't give you my number. Of course I mind that you took it. Like, after that, he just ended up texting me a bunch of sexual stuff, and you know, I couldn't help taking your number down. I have a photographic memory, and I didn't even take it down. I just remembered it a few minutes after you walked out of the store, and I just thought, oh, this would be a lost opportunity if I didn't text her, and just all this bullshit. And then he was like, I'm wondering what you look like naked, and all of this inappropriate stuff. And it's just like, honestly, I just find it so disgusting and revolting, the fact that men think that they can treat women like this. You know, it's sexual harassment, and I know that it can be done the other way around, but I'm just talking about this in this video. I wish you guys could have seen this man. He was disgusting and scary, and it was not okay. How he thought I was gonna meet up with him after or something, it's like, girl, get your life. So anyways, those are 2 short little stories for you guys. And honestly, I really, really do encourage you guys, if you ever do experience sexual harassment, even if you do feel uncomfortable, like I did at the airport, definitely stand up for yourself and say something. I know that I will from now on, because sometimes, you know, it can be flattering, and it can be, oh my God, this person's interested in me, all that stuff, but it is wrong, and you may feel uncomfortable saying something like I did, but I really do wish I could have gone back in time and said something. But I was just in my car like, this is crazy that this is happening right now, you know? Like, and I wish that I could have walked back into that security office and told them that man needs to be fired. Like, I just didn't want to cause a scene. And I think that that's a lot of the time why people get away with sexual harassment, because the victims don't want to come forward and create a scene and create all that. But honestly, a scene needs to be created when people are acting that way. It's not right and it's not fair, and it makes you feel scared and it makes you feel really gross. I still feel gross, and I feel violated, and it's not a very good feeling. So I really do encourage you guys to stop the sexual harassment, and let me know if anything like this has happened to you guys down in the comments. I would love to have a conversation down there. I will definitely be replying a lot in this video, and until I see you guys next time, stay gorgeous.